Let's talk about it. So this was an interview that I Am Karen Hunter did with Van Jones, and my observation from the video was, you know, why women shouldn't be in leadership. That's this boy saying it. And I got issues with Van Jones. Absolutely, I thought what he said in the Breakfast Club a while back about black folks have to be the one to be the adults in the room and sacrifice and make sure Trump is out of all that bullshit. Like, no, black people don't have to do any of that. Black people should negotiate for policy that benefits them, like every other group is doing. This, we not in the position of resisting. Black folks sat passively by for 8 years and let Barack, the Magic Negro, not address your issues with policy. I don't know what the hell Mr. Research is talking about. He's giving Obama credit for bills that came across his desk that he could not get passed because of Mitch McConnell and like you give it. So that's the criteria now. We're giving you credit for bills that you could not have got passed because you didn't do your job as the president. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But watching this interview, it kind of just conceded to the point that women shouldn't be in leadership. If we're focused on what things look like, and the validation is their favorite word nowadays, rather than actual implementation of something and things getting done, we're lost as a people. Let's talk about it. So my quick take is this, right? Van Jones goes on the Karen Hunter show, and she was one of the people that was in her feelings about Van, given some of the things he said, right? So he gave credit to Trump in one speech, and y'all saw the reaction from black media and black pundits. He's in a sunken place. They got him. I don't know about Van. Like, I'm like, are we really that obtuse and silly and stupid? I'm not even a liberal. Van is not on my side politically and ideology wise. He's on their side. But he said one thing that was in a positive about Trump, like, yo, if Trump keep giving speeches like he gave in that particular time, it's gonna be a problem for Democrats, and he can get his approval rating up and whatnot. This is a man who's been in politics his whole life, a political commentator, and he gave his opinion, and there was more commentary on him, on CNN and MSNBC attacking him because he gave his opinion. Like, no, don't do that. Don't give him credit. You can kill him 199 times, but don't give him credit one time. And I'm saying people see that bullshit. People notice that. Like, you can't say like, yo, I've benefited for something for the first time. Talk about Trump tax cuts and everybody saying nobody this, nobody that. For the first time, if you were single with no kids, you got more money back for the first time. The people who got a bunch of kids now became that 8 stacks and 10 G's. Them chicks got like 3,000-4,000 this time around. But cats that ain't got no kids, claim single, none of that, you got more of your money for the first time in a long ass time. You can't admit that that helped you and benefited you. I can. But nonetheless, that's what I'm saying. Is like, it's retarded that that's the logic that you can't say when someone does something right, despite you not liking them. I can give Van or any other person credit on the left or whoever on the right, whatnot, independents or whatnot, when I don't agree with their whole overall message. It doesn't hurt me to say, oh shit, I agree with that. It's right. I'm not voting for any of them damn Democrats running, but I can respect when Andrew Yang said, yo, it's too late for global warming. It's been 10 years. We're too late. Like, that's just not gonna happen. There's nothing we can do about that, right? I can respect that. I can respect when Gabbard Tosi says we need to get out of these regime change wars. We need to stop going to these other countries, right? I'm not gonna vote for her, but I still respect what she said. I think she's right. I agree with her. Many of the other Democratic candidates who were talking about, yo, we can't just take over healthcare and get rid of private insurance for 150 million people, and shit's gonna just be normal and be right. Like, that's not gonna happen. Even the booty bandit, Buttigieg, yo, we can't. The idea of paying for college for everybody, including rich people, is just dumb. Right? They've all said things that are right. I don't agree with their ideology. I'm not voting for their ass, but I can admit when they've said things that I agree with. It doesn't hurt me to say that. For whatever reason, women in particular, especially black women on the left, they can't do that. They're incapable of doing it. And I'm thinking, like, what did you want Van to do? You want him to go up to Jared Kushner and say, fuck you, your dad's a criminal, you're a failed businessman. You want him to speak with that, level of disrespect to somebody who's in the position with the keys to doing criminal justice reform. Huh? What benefit does that do? I used to say that black folks would sacrifice a win to be right, but it ain't even about being right. We'll sacrifice a win to feel right. That's fucked up. Democrats could have gotten done criminal justice reform when Obama was in office. They had the votes. They could have got it done. There were bills. They said, no, we're going to wait for Miss Hillary. We're going to get a better deal than what Obama gave us. And they sacrificed people coming home earlier by doing that. You listen to the activists on the ground, they're saying, no, we want to come home. We're not trying to play this partisan game that y'all doing. We're not trying to gamble with our lives. We want to go home and see our families. Right? But Democratic leadership said no. Sheila Lee Jackson said, nah. We're going to keep him in jail instead of accepting Obama's deal. And we're going to wait for Hillary. And that didn't happen. Fortunately, it's getting done now. But I'm saying, like, we got to do better than that. We got to come to the table with power and negotiate a little bit better. This beating your chest, getting your shit off, and being rebellious, that shit don't work. That's not how you get shit done. And the thing is, Van is on your side. He's on your worldview politically, and yet the most criticism he's gotten is from those same people because he's giving credit to Kim, because he's giving credit to Jared Kushner and Trump. Huh? Can't do business like that. You can't get shit done. Imagine if Karen Hunter was in that room in that position. Shit wouldn't get done. People still be in jail. 4,000 people have come home so far with the First Step Act. Let Democrats have it. Let Karen Hunter have it. Let Charlemagne and the rest of black media, Angela Rye and Joy Reid, let them have it. Y'all still be in jail. I can give Van credit for knowing how to compromise and get shit done. Even when you look at what Joe Biden said about working, that Kamala Harris had her moment with, he was saying, like, I had to work across the aisle with people and I had to compromise and get shit done. What did Kamala Harris say? Well, if I was there, I would have never voted that way. And guess what? You wouldn't have got shit done by doing that. It is a reality that people who can compromise and come across the aisle, they have problems in their own parties. That's why Joe Biden is viewed as the centrist, who the more progressive people don't like, because he knows how to cross the aisle and get shit done. Same thing with John McCain. A lot of Republicans don't like him. They view him as a rhino, but he could cross the line to negotiate to get shit done. You take those L's. That's a hard position to be in, but you need people like that to get shit done. And if Van Jones is saying, yo, I'm on your team, I criticized the man 100 times out of 99.9 times out of 100. I've gotten the receipts, like I've shut down 5 prisons. I've got 18 bills passed. While you type on your keyboard, call me a sellout, coon, and this and that, because I gave the orange man some credit when he deserved it. I mean, like, you gotta be a real selfless person to go out and fight for your people on issues and get attacked over nuanced, childish, shitty, stupid stuff and keep going. I couldn't do it. We could never have a spook by the door nowadays. We could never have a Trojan horse, because we would kill him and he gonna be like halfway through this shit like, fuck this shit, I'm about to go get the bag and I'm gonna hop the fence in peace. I don't see how you don't do that. You really have to be a selfless person and not have a family, because you're putting them at risk as well. But that's just my video, watching this interview with Karen Hunter and Van Jones. I don't understand how we don't understand. You have to compromise to get shit done. And there's nothing wrong with giving people credit with that they deserve, especially when you get in their ass every time they deserve it as well. Like I'm going to do eventually too. I'm going to get in Van Jones' ass about what he said on the Breakfast Club. That was disrespectful. Talking about black people got to fix this country and save it and sacrifice, and it's up to us to come out in the numbers and vote and to get him in. No. Put that responsibility on somebody else. That's not black America's responsibility. Black people need to negotiate the same way you negotiated for things you wanted with Trump and his administration with criminal justice for your thing. Black folks need to do the same thing. This resisting is not going to help black folks. They sat passively for 8 years under Obama, and now you're about to do another possible 8 years of resisting Trump, while every other group is getting shit that they need and what they want. That ain't wise. That's not how you come to negotiate with power. That's my video. I'm out.
Knowledge, which is important. It's better than working at McDonald's.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, so that's good.
So yeah, we wanted to have this conversation because I did have 1,000,000,001 questions, and not to belabor the whole sellout thing, but I think to get to a place where people can receive what you're saying, because I struggle with this too. My delivery sucks a lot of time. No, it does. And I recognize that those are my frailties as a person is that I'm very blunt, and I don't really figure out nice ways to say things, even though I could, and maybe it's lazy. But I surround myself with people who can speak a lot of different languages. You know what I'm saying? And can reach people in a lot of different ways. Like Laura Coates is on our channel. Who can speak. Too. Yeah. No, stop. Okay. Yeah, she was on my show first, so I just want Laura Coates was on.
Let's be clear.
She was on Pete Dominic, and then she was on the Karen Hunter show, and then now she's on CNN with you. We love her. Yeah, but again, Minnesotan, speaks differently, committed to the mission of justice, but she can reach people that I can't reach. So,
but the reason I want to talk to you is because I want on film, and I want on our cameras as well. There's real passion and frustration with Van Jones right now, and nobody will tell me to my face what people are saying. And
you must not have the right friend.
Exactly.
All you need to do is call me. I would have told you what they were saying, Van Jones. I would have told you what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Van Jones.
What were you saying?
I was frustrated by not just that moment that we talked about on the town hall with he's presidential, but the interview you did with Jared Kushner pissed me off on some level. Jared Kushner is not qualified to sit in the seat that he's in. Right, and I feel like people who like you, who work to go to law school to become the person that you are, who had to go travel through all of these different things to sit in a position to be able to make a difference. This guy literally was handed, you're in charge of Israel, prison. I mean, it's like, who are you? But a bankrupt business person whose daddy's in jail. Like, that's how I feel about it. And every time someone like you sits with someone like him, you give him validation. Anytime you sit with a Donald Trump, and it's the same problem I had with Steve Harvey going there, and Martin Luther King III going there for that photo op, coming down in front of the gold elevators. Kanye West, I'm still reeling from that, because the validation that you give someone who has a history of redlining, Central Park 5, still hasn't apologized to those 5 beautiful people, and I gotta stop calling them that. I need to call them by their names. Kevin, Youssef, Corey. Let me see if I can get it all. Kevin, Youssef, Corey, come on, help me. No. Kevin Richardson, Youssef Salam, Corey Wise, and Antron McCray, and why am I forgetting the 5th one? Ava. But they're young boys who had their lives stolen from them by an evil, corrupt system, and this man spent $85,000 to call for the death penalty. Before they even had due process as a lawyer. Like, come on. They didn't even go to trial. And then they were convicted with no physical evidence. None of the sperm matched them. No blood evidence. Nothing to convict them, and they were all railroaded, and then they were exonerated. And no apology?
So why were you mad at me?
It was displaced. So maybe some of it was displaced.
No,
but
at the time,
but at the time, it's like you represent power, and you represent the ability to speak truth to power, because you're sitting there. You got a seat at the table. You got entree. And I guess in many ways, it's like that moment Kanye during Hurricane Katrina, where he goes on camera and says George Bush doesn't care about black people. And we were all like, we all know that, but Kanye said it on camera. And in many ways, that catapulted him into a position that he wouldn't have had. Even though he got a lot of backlash in the black community, we were like, yeah, George Bush doesn't care about. He flies over, good job. Black people are dying. Kiss my ass. So I think it was that, the validation that someone in your position gives to somebody like that. And it wasn't like hateful, because I don't know you. But I just feel like, our responsibility as black people, and those of us who have the microphones, those of us who have the ears and the eyes of people, bear a different responsibility than anyone else,
And so if you were somebody from the community or barbershop, nail salon, community center, how was the landing?
Like, what is he doing? And I think some of us, because I can't speak for all people, and I'm not into cancel culture per se. I don't believe in throwing away anybody. Maybe. But I think it landed. Okay, that doesn't matter. We're not in a position where. Because media is still dependent the way CNN and others. I'm sorry.
No. I just it's okay to have it on. I just wanted to get it slightly out of
the way that CNN and others were taking hits for giving Trump $1 billion worth of advertising and $1 billion worth of eyeballs, right, for free. Our black media is also wedded to Silicon Valley in a way that their funding comes from. We're not self-funded. I think Sean King just launched something that is, committed to that. But outside of that, we don't really have a black media. So I don't even. And I'm just being real. Yeah. So I have the same criticism. Like, what is with edges being snatched and all of this stuff in your headlines? Like, that's not journalism. Where's our journalism? Yeah. There's stuff going on all over the globe that we don't see in these outlets.
Well, look, I mean,
Shade Room? Come on, what are we doing? Yeah.
For me, I don't. I misunderstood the environment that I was operating in. I thought that when I'm on CNN every night kicking Donald Trump in the face, every night, like, and I'm not gonna, I don't mean to be arrogant, but when it's time for me to spit, I can spit, and that I thought I had built up some credit to them if I need to, and frankly, not only politically need to, but also just ethically. Like, my view is, I can't kick your butt hard when you're wrong if I'm not willing to cheer just loud when you're right. I have a problem with that. Now, that you're going to be wrong 99 times and you're going to be right once. But I feel like ethically, I can't just sit up here, like a lot of my liberal friends do, kick his butt when he's wrong, and then when he's right, won't give him his credit.
I think you're right there.
But the media system doesn't operate that way. So I literally would kick his butt night after night after night after night. Now, Trump knows. Jared knows that they don't like it. But that doesn't register with us. Fox News don't like it. It registers with them. But with us, is if you're a black progressive saying, tough stuff, but it's not even news. Nobody cares. But if you say one thing that's positive, and maybe it's overstated, maybe it's hyperbolic, whatever, but if you say one thing, that becomes the defining thing. And I didn't realize I was operating in an environment that unforgiving.
So I'm going to school you a little bit on media. I had a contract with MSNBC, and I realized that there was a conspiracy to do the soundbite television. And you actually do, you and Kamau Bell and others, before Anthony Bourdain, you do different television, and it's heartwarming. Let me just say that. But usually it's left, right, fight, 2 minutes, soundbite, and that's all you have, which is why I tell my listeners, turn it off.
Yeah.
You're not going to be educated watching the breaking news. That's the breaking news on every channel. The same panel is talking about the same things in the same kind of way. We're not left, right. We're Americans. So every issue is nuanced or has different shades that need to be explored, but that producers are so lazy and inept that they don't know how to produce television that actually is like what I grew up watching, Walter Cronkite, where I get the news, I can filter it myself, and if you want to have a Dick Cavett or someone like that have meaningful conversation and dialogue around it, then you have that. You bring it back. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't exist now. Now you have things for clicks, ratings, and eyeballs. And if we're going to be honest, Urban View has maybe 3-4 times more listeners than CNN has viewers on any given moment.
I'm sure that's true.
All right? No, that's a fact. So I made a decision that I wasn't going to do television, even though they push television, because television gives you,
visibility.
I don't want visibility. I need solutions and action. I need something to get done. Going on there may be great for my Twitter following, but it's not going to be great for what we need to get done in this community. Now, you have, again, you and others on the weekend, great platforms because you can have conversations that actually get to someplace, like people talking to one another. It's beautiful. But going on a CNN with your facts, and they're facts, it get lost in a loud thing. When I used to go on, only thing people cared about was my outfit. Or you had on a jacket, or I did something, with my face, and it becomes a meme now. And people are looking for those viral moments when they go on. I've destroyed you, and it becomes like a rap battle. As opposed to what it's supposed to be, media that people consume and can disseminate what's happening, because that's not what's there.
Well,
so,
I mean, I'm struggling because I am on TV, and that is a big part of the game. And it's weird because if you talk to the Trump White House, what they remember about this past year is that I went, after the State of the Union, I went and tore Trump a new one because
that's what they heard.
Yeah, because I said his speech was a psychotic mix of cookies and dog poop, literally.
You did say that. I remember that.
Exactly. Yeah, the Trump White House. That was like somebody threw a hand grenade in there because I'm the one liberal that they work with, and I'm not giving them credit. And that was the speech where he put formerly incarcerated people in the speech. They thought Van Jones was going to come out on CNN and praise him to the high heavens for that. I said, not in the same speech where you're attacking immigrants. I said, if you give a clean speech on criminal justice, I'll support it. But if you mix that up with a bunch of stuff I can't support, I'm not going to ban them out, immigrants, sisters, and brothers. So the Trump White House was furious at me on that. But then you turn around, and I went to CPAC a couple weeks later, and I said, a true statement, I said, a bunch of these Republican governors are now leading on criminal justice. Van Jones is a sellout. So,
but you gave him credit for leading.
Yes.
Like people been in the trenches for decades.
Introducing bills.
Well, they didn't have the ability. If you're on the ground as a soldier, do you have the ability?
Like me for 15 years. So
Right.
if that's what I'm
Right.
saying. If I can say
Right.
that Jerry Brown, who California governor, was a mass incarcerator until the very end,
That is true.
but deal in Georgia was reducing the population, and Rick Perry in Texas, a Republican, closed
Ooh.
8 prisons.
That's
Closed
tough.
8 prisons.
Right.
And I'm talking facts.
Yes.
On that, you're leaving.
Yes.
Van Jones is a seller.
Right.
So
That's tough.
So what I'm saying is that we say that the Trump people are post-truth, but we're post-truth too. Because if I get up and say what's absolutely factually true, people get triggered. And it goes into that deep trauma that we're being
Well,
re-traumatized.
that's what I'm gonna say.
Being re-traumatized.
There's a history here, so it's
Yeah.
not just you praising a Rick Perry.
Mhm.
Oops,
Yeah.
that
Terrible on the death penalty and great on prison.
yes.
That's true. It's a fact.
And I'm the queen of saying two things can be true, so
Yeah.
I'm struggling right
See what
now.
I'm saying?
Because you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But
But that's why I'm saying the retrenchment of black moral leadership, where we are now, cancel culture is the opposite of black moral leadership.
Right.
Black moral leadership, nuance, soul people, jazz,
Right. But there's
hip-hop.
nobody who's on the forefront. If we're being honest, let's have an honest conversation. Who do you think is? Because first of all, no more charismatic leadership.
Nope.
We should be done with that.
No,
We need
that's
systems.
it.
We need systems that can't be destroyed by individuals, taking people out. But who leads black people right now? Who's somebody that has a moral,
Look, I
Honestly.
honestly love Jay-Z and Beyonce for what they're doing with the culture.
Are they leaders?
And I'm just saying what they're
Okay.
doing with the culture, and I see Jay-Z now trying to do more on criminal justice reform. I think Ava DuVernay, maybe she may be that voice in a different way. You know, maybe Dr. King would have used a pulpit. Maybe Obama would have used a polling booth. Maybe she would use
A
a
camera.
producer's hat.
Yeah.
But but look. I don't know. All I'm saying is I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't know. But I don't know. You talk about solutions. I don't know what my solution is because I know
This
I
is
could.
one. I mean, let me tell you. Sitting there, what you said at the end with Topeka, I shifted, and not that I had. I just want to win.
Yeah.
I need us to win, and I think I'm about to do a podcast on this. We play.